Here we go. Hello and welcome to Dutchman Seb. You find me today with the 2024 Tesla Model 3 Performance. It's a bit windy today, so I'm going to do most of the talking inside the car, so stay with me. Hopefully you can enjoy this video. If you enjoy this video content, please consider subscribing and definitely hit the thumbs up. It's totally free, costs you nothing, and it helps me out a lot. So thanks and stay tuned. Let's take a look at some of the cosmetic differences. You'll notice over here in the front, you've got these air duct intakes. So you've got this new front fascia from the Highline Model 3, and this is the way you can notice a performance model. It has these air intake slots here, and you can see there's an air tunnel with wind going through there to pass through that air vent. You've also got a little lip in the front here. I just love these new beautiful headlights on the Highline Model 3, similar to the new Tesla Roadster, which hopefully we'll get one of these days. The other dead giveaway is of course the red brake calipers, so you'll see the Tesla logos, performance Tesla Model 3 wheel designs, and of course the red calipers give it away. There are some aero caps here that you can remove, but it is quite ugly when you remove them, so I prefer to keep them on for you guys. The other giveaway is of course the rear spoiler. So you've got this carbon fiber ducktail spoiler at the back here, and you've got a bigger rear diffuser. So if you can see it here, you've got a real big plastic diffuser at the back here, and yeah, of course it's all plastic. So those are the big giveaways. The other one is the Tesla Performance Badge. So it's not a plaid badge, this is actually a performance badge. So the plaid badges are actually reserved for the tri-motors in the Tesla Model S and the Model X. And this is the new performance badge for the Tesla Model 3 performance model. I do love the way they've done the new lettering on the Highline models, doing away with the Tesla logo and putting the lettering on the back there. So yeah, those are the big noticeable cosmetic changes. Hopefully there's not too much wind noise today, so yeah, excuse the wind noises because it is unfortunately a bit windy today. Outside the car, appearances look pretty much the same as the Tesla Model 3 Highline. It's not wider. It does however have a staggered set of wheels. So you have the rear 275s, here we go, 275 30s, R20s on Pirelli P0s, nice sticky rubber. And in the front you have a, I believe it was a 235, let's see, 235, yeah, so 235, 35 R20, also Pirelli P0s in the front. So that's the big difference with the Performance Model 3, is that you get a staggered rear wheel setup, so giving you more handling and traction in the back with the track mode. So your standard Model 3 doesn't have a staggered setup, but it has a square setup. So I'm going to get back in the car for you guys now to get you guys out of the wind. So interior wise, it's pretty much the same interior as the standard Model 3 Highland. So the long range will have this nice cloth interior with a new light bar on the inside here. You'll see these nice soft plastics as well on the inside, and also nice soft plastics down here below. This used to be a harder plastic. They've also got carpets now on the door bins, and you'll see the carbon fiber, real carbon fiber on the trim on the dash. The big improvement here is of course the seats. So Tesla released this new Performance Model 3 bucket seat, and you can see immediately the bolster support here on the sides. This makes the biggest improvement for this car, is the seats. And I must say, getting in them, they're super comfortable, and I really just love the new performance badging here. The headrest is also way more how do you call it, squishy, like softer. They used to be like the rear seats, like these, and they were quite hard. So when you got your head smashed in the back of the seat with the acceleration, you definitely felt it. So getting in the back, I must say, I've got my seat a little bit further forward than I usually have, so it's not all the way back, and the legroom's quite good actually. Of course, a new 8-inch touchscreen you've got in the Highline Model 3s now, carrying over from the Model S and X. So your rear passengers also have access to controls like your ventilation and your air conditioning, some videos, arcade games. So turn it on here, you can actually see, you can also adjust the seat here. I don't know how to do that one just yet. Oh, here we go, seat controls. Yeah, you can move the seat forward. So if you want to create more leg room for yourself, or prank your mom who's sitting in the passenger seat. And you can't move the driver's seat, so that's for a safety feature. You can't actually play around with the driver's position, but you can move that seat backwards and forward. There are seat heatings here on the 2 seats. They did remove the passenger rear heating in the center seat, because I guess nobody really sits there that often. So you've got media that you can control at the back here. You've got your videos you can control at the back, and then of course your arcade games. So a whole wide variety of games. You also can connect Bluetooth controllers. So here you'll see Bluetooth controls that you can add in here, so like a wireless controller or a wireless headset, so you can listen to your games or your music without disrupting the driver. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I think that's much for the back. It's really comfy back here, I must say. The seats do feel much better than the previous model. Same cup holder that you had in the Highland Model 3. So back here not much has changed from the standard Model 3. Let's have a look and see if I can find any other Easter eggs. All looks pretty standard to me. Yeah, all looks pretty standard to me. So if you want to see my in-depth video of the Highland Model 3 video, be sure to check down below or click the pop-up banner. I've done a real good comparison of the Highland Model 3 to the previous 2023 Model 3 videos. Seeing as we're in the Netherlands, it's either raining or windy, so I'll do most of the talking from inside the car today. We're stepping inside of the 2024 Tesla Model 3 Performance, and we have the car on test drive. So let's take it for a spin and give you our first impressions. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to hit them down below in the comments. And if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up please, and definitely subscribe for more content. It really helps us out to give you guys cool content. So as you guys might know, this is the refresh Highland Model 3. It's just been released now in the new performance model. This is the European spec with the LG Chem batteries. So we have less horsepower, 460 horsepower, with comparison to the 500 horsepower with the Panasonic batteries that you get in North America. However, we do have slightly more range on the battery. Just pulling out my cheat sheet here, the performance Model 3 in North America claims a 303 mile range, which converts to roughly 485 kilometers. And the model that we have here in Europe actually has 528 kilometers of WLTP range, which is the rating agency that makes the claims on the ranges. So let's see what you actually get in real world. The claims 0 to 100 times is 3.1 seconds. I have a race box here today, so we're going to verify the 0 to 100 times for you. It is dry outside and I have a 69% charge of battery. Haha, 69. So we'll see what we get. I unfortunately can't do a top speed test here because we are limited to 140 with the test car here. So let's take it for a drive and see what it's doing. The current price in the Netherlands today, as I'm filming this, is 56,990 euros. I did hear some news about a new import tax coming for cars from China that might be affecting the vehicles coming from China. This is a China-built Tesla Model 3, so you may find that in the next couple of weeks the prices might be affected. So we are waiting to hear still on these import duties that are going to be added on. So if you are looking to get one of these vehicles, I would jump on it ASAP. 56,990 euros is quite a lot of car for not a lot of money. If you think about this, it's actually quite close to the performance, or even better than your top of the line fully spec BMW M3s, which are going for over 120,000 euros. So I've driven the rear-wheel drive Highland Model 3 last year when it was first released in Europe. If you haven't seen that video yet, click up here in the pop-out banner or check below in my playlist. You can find that video. I've also done a side-by-side comparison video for the 2023 Model 3 versus the Highland 2024 models. So if you're interested in the comparison side-by-side videos and what's new, be sure to check out those videos as well. So I won't go through a lot of all the details that I went in those videos today. Today we're going to be focused really on the performance model. So looking at the interior here, you can see there is very much similarities to the Highland Model 3, which was just recently released last year. The only differences really with the performance models are the bucket seats and the interior trim here. So the bucket seats give you instantaneously much better feel for your side bolster ring support. That was one of the major complaints that people had about the performance Model 3. A lot of the guys use them on track and there was just no support, kind of lateral acceleration support in the seat. So this immediately you feel these seats are super comfortable. The ride quality is really improved. This is the first time that they have introduced adaptable suspension on the Model 3s. So that's been carried over from the Model S, which has the adaptable suspension, and it's now also to be seen and found in the Model 3. So I'm going to do a first reaction pull here, if I can get past this mobile camper home here in front of me, and see what the times are like. I've actually only driven the Model S Plaid, and I did a reaction video of that. It actually is painful to experience the G-force from the acceleration of that car. So I think it might be similar to this with a 3.1 second 0 to 100. It's also going to be quite a lot of G-forces. But yeah, there are some cars behind me, so I can't do a standing start at the moment. Let's see if I can get past this guy. I'm not in insane mode now, but this is just regular standard mode, and that's quite comfortable actually. That's not too painful. I think that was quite a nice acceleration. So we'll pop it over into dynamics and put it into insane acceleration mode. There's no Plaid mode or ludicrous mode. That's reserved for your tri-motors for the Model S Plaid. Insane is the fastest you'll get in the Model 3 performance. I've got the ride and handling now in sport, and the steering now is in weighted standard setting. So let's see the difference here. That's a lot faster. Wow, that's really pushes you back in your seat. So that's quite a big difference. Let's see if I can get around this roundabout without pressing the wrong buttons on the indicator. Let's see, going right. It's a bit clunky with your fingers on the steering wheel. Okay, so now I can do a little bit of a standing start. Let me reset this one. All right, here we go. Damn, that's fast. So 3.2 seconds straight off the bat. No prepping, no track mode, no letting the battery warm up. That's just driving it off from the test track, from the dealers. 3.2 seconds, 0 to 100. And that's pretty much close to what the figures are claimed, 3.1 seconds. So let's find a nice stretch of road where we can do that again, where it's straight and flat. I must say, over a bit of bumps and like drain hole covers and potholes, it's really well absorbing these bumps. I mean, this new suspension has been completely redesigned, so the entire chassis has been redone. I believe they've got new wishbone control arms. I believe there's a full new kind of performance chassis that they're advertising on their website, as well as this adaptive suspension now that you can actually configure in track mode, which is really nice. But these bumps here are really nice actually. This audible alert for the speed limit chime is really annoying. I'm going to put that on mute. Alright, so we've got the car into dynamics, insane, sport for handling, and we are not in track mode. So let's see, customize. Okay, here you can do your profile settings for track mode, but we'll come back to that later. Let's first do a 0 to 100. Here we go. Alright, so 3.2 seconds again. Battery state now is at 67%, so when we started it was 69%, so 2 hard pulls, and we've lost around 2%. So yeah, 3.2 seconds, I think that's pretty good compared to what's advertised. Yeah, obviously when you got a full battery you might have a little bit more performance, but these cars don't drop off performance too much. They do maintain quite good performance throughout the battery life. Yeah, I mean, steering wise, handling wise, this car handles and steers really nicely. It's got very minimal body roll. I mean, there is some body roll, it's not nothing, but it's definitely much better than what it was on the performance Model 3 previously. That was super stiff, super hard, and not very comfortable as a daily driver. So there's definitely an improvement there when it comes to the drivability on a daily basis. This car has got much more kind of comfort and luxurious feeling to it. First impressions driving in the car here, I mean, it really does feel like a redefined Model 3. You get a lot of these headlines saying like Tesla killers, the new best car on the road that's going to eat Tesla's lunch. I think the best Tesla killer is a new Tesla, because this one is definitely going to sell better than the previous Model 3 performance. This is actually a properly designed Model 3. It's not something that's been rushed, slapped together and put out to rush kind of getting sales. This has actually really been thought out, and the engineers at Tesla have put a lot of work into this platform, especially with the version 3 of the track mode that's been released for this vehicle. That's been developed with guys like Randy Post, a lot of well-known race car drivers. It's had a lot of feedback from guys on the track, and especially North America. They've got a whole dynamics team dedicated to making the track mode much better. So if you're looking for a daily car to have a bit of fun with in the weekends, this is by far the best value for money that you can find out there. You won't find performance anywhere close to what this car has to offer for the price range. You know, as I mentioned, the starting price here today is 56,000 euros, 990. You can't get anything under 70 or 80,000 euros that will even be close to the 0 to 100 seconds. The 0 to 100 times that you get for these vehicles. But I really think it comes down to drivability. You know, you want to be able to use this car, go to the office, pick up the kids from school, maybe take the dogs to daycare. And I really think my wife would love driving a car like this. You know, she really loves our Model 3, and if I got a performance Model 3, she wouldn't know that it was any faster than the rear-wheel drive, because she's just sitting in traffic most days. But every time you put your foot down, I mean, this is just absolutely bonkers. This car is really a rocket ship, and just throwing it around corners and stuff, having a bit of fun. It's got a good traction control, good acceleration off the line. See, it was quite a hard bump there, and the car handled it quite well. So yeah, with regards to that, I think they've done a fantastic job at Tesla with the dynamics and the stability and the ride comfort of this vehicle. It feels really planted and solid. I don't have much of a track around here, but this is an industrial area where you can you know, not draw too much attention to yourself, so we can have a bit of fun with it here. But yeah, big bumps, it absorbs it really well. I don't feel there's like a jolt of pain going through my back or anything like that. Seats are really comfortable, doing a great job. I must say, driving over cobbled bricks paving, you hardly even notice a thing with regards to brick paving. We have pretty good roads here in the Netherlands, so we can't complain about potholes and those kinds of things. But yeah, I mean, the driving is definitely improved. The handling is so smooth and so sharp. This new dynamic suspension is way better than the previous system. There's no comparison. I mean, even handling big bumps on the road there, it's super good. I mean, just giving you that acceleration is really good. I mean, that is amazing. It just takes your breath away when you hit the throttle. It's insane. I mean, wow. Like, the brakes are super good as well. I imagine on a racetrack they would get warm and overheat quite quickly, but for regular driving, I think they're quite good. Let's see if we can get a nice quiet acceleration here out of a corner. I mean, before you know it, you're already at 100. This thing is definitely good at pulling away, so out of a corner you're definitely going to have a lot of fun getting back on the power. And let's see the brakes, full hard brakes here, pretty good. I'm going to mute that chime for the speed limit warning. Yeah, the brakes feel really good to me, quite solid. Definitely give you a lot of confidence to slam on the brakes quite late. Let's have a look here. So nice on the brakes, coming into the corner, on the throttle, super responsive. I mean, that's the thing about Teslas, right? You get this instantaneous throttle response when you hit the accelerator pedal. There's no lagging or waiting for turbos to spool like you get in combustion engines or downshifting. The driving pleasure of a Tesla is so unique. No matter what car you get into, whether it's a Model S, X3, or I imagine a Cybertruck, the experience is all quite the same. It definitely feels like you're driving a Tesla. They have their own unique dynamics. So let's take you for a bit of a longer ride here and see how the car handles a bit. Unfortunately, I don't have long with the car today, so a short test drive is all we can muster up for you guys. And there's not too many windy, twisty roads, so a bit of an industrial abandoned terrain is the best I got for you guys. No canyon carving in the Netherlands. It's quite flat here, unfortunately. But I imagine if you go down to the Ardennes in Belgium, it could be quite fun to truck around the windy, twisting roads around there, or taking it down for a weekend to Nürburgring. You could definitely embarrass a couple of Porsches. Not with the top speed though, 263 kilometers per hour. Fast enough by any means, enough to get you put in prison if you're going to be speeding on the highways. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Please always be mindful of that. So yeah, I just love this this experience. The new seats are way better than the previous model. That's the biggest noticeable difference driving this thing, and the full package together, the car just feels more refined. It's really now a proper performance car. It's worth calling it a performance model, whereas before it was kind of just, yeah, we made a faster Model 3 version. And then you've got your cruise control. So there we go, one tap for your autopilot controls. And then you've got Navigate and Autopilot on this package as well. There's an optional feature that you have to purchase here in Europe as well as North America. I believe it's 3,800 euros currently for the enhanced Autopilot, and for the FSD I think it's 7,500 euros. So not cheap by any means, but if you do commute a lot, it is really nice to get a bit of help on the highway, especially sitting in traffic, to do navigating on Autopilot. Couple of lane changes for you and following the navigational route. Yeah, I mean, I would get a lot of speeding tickets driving this car. It's just so much fun to hit that throttle pedal. Every time you hit the throttle, you just fly over 100. So yeah, it's really planted going around the corner. There's not a lot of body roll. I do have something here on the seat next to me which is flying around, so you can see the cornering G-forces. So let's see how we'll go around this roundabout. Let's give it a bit of a sporty turn here. Whoa, stability control kicking in there a bit. You know, so definitely it's enough to squeal the tires. And yeah, you've got the assist of the driving functions to give you that dynamic braking coming out of a corner, or stability control there if you're getting too much throttle coming out of a turn. So as a beginner driver or not having a lot of track experience, it's a very easy car to learn to drive fast quite safely and not get into too much trouble. Let's go right here and see if we can have a bit of fun around the corners here. Got some doggies here, so just take it easy in case doggies decide to jump in front of the car. This thing's just a rocket ship every time you get on that accelerator. It's really just crazy. I'll do one last standing start for you guys. Alright, well, Draggy's got some signal. Let's go for it. .29, so it is getting slightly slower now that we're down to a lower state of charge. We've got 62%. We were getting 3.26, but it's not losing a lot of acceleration. So it's definitely staying quite consistent, but I haven't been able to hit that 3.1 seconds. So I do need a little bit more state of charge to get to that, I believe. Man, what a fun car to drive though. I would not get bored of this easily. Alright, I've got a nice flat road here. Let's see if we can get another go. In 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, that thing is so fast. 3.3 seconds. Okay, so we are losing a little bit of performance now. I reckon that it does slightly decline a bit. I do hear the fans working a bit now, so maybe the batteries are getting a bit warm, doing a couple of hard pulls. Yeah, but I think that's still pretty good considering that we're down to 60% state of charge. We haven't lost a crazy amount of performance or acceleration. It's one of the things that everybody always complains about with electric cars, that when the battery goes down, you lose a lot of performance. Still coming standard in European models, you get your home charging adapter, your roadside kit, as well as Type 2 charging cable. So that's something that North American market doesn't get, I believe, but in Europe we do get it here. So this is really like €500 universal charging adapter that you can use for home charging with your standard Schuko plug, standard connector. It really helps if you haven't got a wall connector at home, but I would advise getting a wall connector because it charges way faster. Within a couple of hours your battery is full. Yeah, and you've got nice trunk space at the back here. They've added an extra compartment on the side here where you can put like large bottles and water bottles and stuff. Same here as well. This is much larger than the previous models. And you've got like a safety latch here to open up the charge port, I believe, if there's no power on the vehicle. This vehicle has the 17 speakers around, so you can see the rear here. You've got these speakers that do say Tesla on them, so it's Tesla's own design sound system. And I was not sure who made the speakers, but yeah, Tesla have their own in-house acoustic department making sound systems. They also have carpeting on the inside of the trunk now as well, so that's really a big improvement. In the front you'll see the same space we had in the standard Model 3 Highland video, with your windshield washer bottle being moved here. It used to be located here, and of course your new pins for the pedestrian hood protection. This actually lifts the hood up for a frontal impact with the pedestrian to create more of a crumple zone for pedestrians if they get hit by the front of the vehicle. And they have actually removed the button here for opening the trunk, because I guess the trunk area is a bit smaller, that you can't actually get a person or a child in here. But it used to be by law that you have to have a release button here to open up the trunk. You've got your tow hook here as well, and they have made this kind of waterproof. I don't see any drain holes here, unfortunately, so if you do want to fill it up with ice and put some cold beers or something for a party, to get the water out of here might be a bit tricky. There are two bolts here that you can remove, and then this whole thing comes out. Yeah, so front is pretty standard. It is more of a soft close now. I mentioned that in my previous videos as well. So if you like this video, guys, it really helps out my channel just to hit the subscribe button. It's totally free, and if you like the content, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithms to let people know that you also enjoyed this video. So thanks again for joining us today, and if you enjoyed it, I hope to see you in the next one. Until next time, cheers.